You know, when I picked up F1 Manager 24 for free from the Epic Games Store, I did not think I'd be putting nearly 60 hours into it. But hey, you know, life's full of surprises, and in fact, what's more surprising is that I managed to build an F1 team that didn't go bankrupt immediately. I look forward to sharing my journey here in this educational video, but before I do, I just want to give full disclosure that I will not be doing this again. My goodness. I mean, quite frankly, this took up way too much of my time, and with F1 Manager 25 getting canned, this will likely be the first and last video I will be making on this franchise. But enough of that. It's time to show y'all how a real F1 manager gets shit done. Behold my creation. Step aside, Cadillac, cause Big Ballz Racing is the new 11th team on the grid, owned and operated by yours truly, John B. Ballz. Also, I was gonna make a joke logo, but quite frankly, the one I made really resonated with me. I mean, the color scheme isn't great, but the lion and eagle look fucking badass. And the 2.0 reference is calling back to the first Big Ballz Racing team, the prototype that I made, which we're not gonna talk about them. It didn't end so well. For my drivers, I went with Liam Lawson and Theo Pourchaire. Lawson was rated highest overall available, and Pourchaire I had already used on my first team, and even though that team was a disaster, you know, he was alright. He wasn't too bad, so I picked him. Mick Schumacher was my original pick for driver 1, but his skills were, shall we say, suspect on my first team, so I decided to swap him out for Lawson. After that, I preset my team to Hungry Newcomer because I'm a masochist, and yeah, away we go. My goals for the team's first season were simple enough. 1. Don't finish last. And 2. Don't go bankrupt. Honestly, even though I had already played half a season prior to this, I still, honest to God, had no clue what I was doing, so this would very much be a development season. My first order of business was to jack up our marketability ratings so that we could get better sponsors, to get better money, to develop and build better cars. Simple enough, right? A lot of money went towards operations facilities, which would increase this rating. However, this would mean that there was no chance to build a competitive car this season. But that was fine. I mean, even if we could make a competitive car, it wouldn't have mattered anyways because, I mean, our drivers aren't exactly experienced, nor do they have enough skill to actually win races consistently, so who cares? But all in all, Season 1 went about as well as you'd expect. We finished in 8th with a whopping 2 points, courtesy of the GOAT himself, Theo. Not sure what the other teams below us were doing, like honestly guys, how do you get no points in an entire season, like what the hell? Max Verstappen won Drivers' Championship and helped Red Bull win the Constructors' Cup. I wasted a ton of money on parts during a losing season because I thought they would carry over to the next season, and spoiler alert, they did not. Also, our parts factory may or may not have caught on fire at some point during the season, but hey, at the end of the day, the board approved of this season's performance, so I approved of this season's performance. We did what we needed to do, and that's that. I'm sure next season will be even better. Okay, so, I mean, technically, we did finish with more points than we did last season, so in a way we were better. We finished 10th with 11 points, so I mean, can I really complain and say we did worse? I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna skip over this one. I literally didn't even bother recording a race for this season. It was a bit of a disaster, but yeah, once again, Max Verstappen won the Drivers' Championship. Who could have seen that coming? I sure as hell didn't. And this season, McLaren also won Constructors. I'm gonna keep it $150. This season for Big Ballz Racing was quite honestly suboptimal. And this isn't even the worst part. See, Haas managed to snag Liam away from us, which I honestly didn't really care since he kinda sucked. But now we need a new driver, and I wasn't really scouting for one this season. Oopsie fucking daisies. So I had to go with the one guy who is still available. Mick the Frick Schumacher. Oh boy, where have I seen this before? I tried to put him in car 2 and move Theo to car 1, but turns out you can't do that, so I accidentally may or may not have replaced Theo, our future best driver, with Mick Schumacher to start next season. Oh, shit. Okay, I managed to put out the proverbial fire and re-signed Theo with my masterclass negotiating skills. And since I did nothing but research last season, the car was actually not too bad. Like, it was honestly kind of competitive. 3 seasons in, our marketability was high enough to get some decent sponsors. So the only things I needed to address really now were who my actual number 2 driver was gonna be, because it's sure as shit won't be Mick, and how I would keep the car competitive. After the first race of the season, I knew that re-signing Theo was a great idea, since he had already managed to get into the points, and in race number 6, he had a thrilling battle with the 2 Red Bulls for first place, and while he did ultimately fall short, he was showing signs of a champion. Mick not so much. Mick was Mick, let's just put it that way, which is why I ended up swapping him out for Oliver Behrman with 18 races remaining, who was originally a reserve driver for Ferrari. As it stands, the situation is as follows. If this move doesn't work and we can't meet this season's objective of at least 5th place, I'm going to lose my job. But if it works, we might just have a real contender on our hands here. Holy crap, Lois, it actually worked. We won our first race near the end of the season and finished the season in 4th place. Guess who won drivers again? Yep, Max Verstappen, but Theo and Ollie finished 5th and 10th respectively, combining for a total of 263 points. That is quite the jump from last season. Also, McLaren won Constructors, so I mean, that's cool, I guess. I'm sure that won't be an issue for us later on, totally. I won't lie, I did look up a YouTube tutorial on how to upgrade the car properly, since I genuinely had no clue what I was doing halfway through the season. But I managed to bounce back, and yeah, the car's actually decent now. Like, legitimately decent, legitimately a contender. Other than that, I secured some extra talent to avoid another incident like what occurred at the start of the season, and now I can confidently say that we'll be even better than last season. I think. Maybe. I don't know. This season, we went harder than ever before, smashing our season objectives, but it wasn't hard enough to get the win. Damn. Team McLaren, or should I say Team Oscar, destroyed us. We were on their tails the whole season, but in the last 4 races, Theo the GOAT unfortunately blew 2 engines, which kinda screwed us. Regardless, this was honestly great progress, and while Oscar took the Drivers' Championship and just ran with it, I still felt that we were on the verge of a breakthrough, maybe even both a Constructors' win and a Drivers' Championship, depending on how next season goes. So while McLaren may have won this season in a very annoying fashion, I'll give them credit, they balled the fuck out, but I promise you that we're gonna get the fuckers next season. Ladies and gentlemen, we cooked. Nobody saw it coming, nobody stood a chance, it was game over halfway through the season. Theo took home Drivers' Championship, while Ollie was a close second. What really clicked for me was the car upgrading meta, as I think this was the season where I executed my upgrades perfectly throughout all the races. I am proud to say that Big Ballz Racing is a championship team that will most likely have success for years to come. I'm just going to assume that and stop there. Again, I must say that this is no joke, took me nearly 2 months to accomplish. And while I am happy I was able to achieve this, holy smokes, again, way too much time. Regardless, we got it done. Challenge over, challenge complete. I did it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one, but until then, take care.
You did a very good job. You did an amazing job. There we have our drivers' champion. The title, at last, is theirs.
They'll be soaking this moment up. It's their very first F1 title win.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard in the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.